Present! On! Host the colors!
Now taking his place in the reviewing area is today's retiring official, Captain Justin Nash, Commander, Communications Company, Combat Logistics Regiment 45.
Present! On! Order! On! Marines to be decorated and retired. Center, march!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting Meritorious Service Medal to First Sergeant Wayne C. Hermance, United States Marine Corps Reserve, for service set forth in the following citation. For outstanding meritorious service while serving as First Sergeant, Communications Company, Combat Logistics Regiment 45, 4th Marine Logistics Group, from May 2013 to May 2016. During this period, First Sergeant Hermance performed his duties in an exemplary and highly professional manner. His dynamic leadership style guided and shaped over 150 enlisted Reserve Marines within Communications Company. His expertise and dedication resulted in a first-rate enlisted professional military education program, which ensured that Marines not only met the basic requirements, but possessed the skills and abilities for future advancement. He continually provided invaluable advice to company and regimental leadership concerning disciplinary and administrative matters regarding Communications Company personnel. As the face of the company's community relations mission for the local area, he represented the unit to the utmost positive and professional manner. His unwavering support, flawless coordination and execution, and relentless supervision ensured the unprecedented success of varied events, including those related to Toys for Tots, funeral details, and local fundraising. His attention to detail and extensive knowledge and pride in the United States Marine Corps traditions ensured the success of the 239th and 240th Marine Corps birthday balls in Greensboro, North Carolina, hosting an average attendance of over 800 guests. His superior performance to duty during this tour culminates 21 years of honorable and dedicated Marine Corps service. First Sergeant Hermance's exceptional professional ability, initiative, and total devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For the President, P.J. Hermanson, Commanding General, 4th Marine Logistics Group. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who will join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Dear First Sergeant Hermance, the Marine Corps has been your occupation and family for many years past, and I am certain the memories, interests, and future of the Corps will remain with you forever. Many desire to obtain your accomplished goals, but few can compare to you. You have clearly demonstrated the exceptional leadership qualities and professional contributions we seek of our senior Marines. We are proud, as you must be, of your successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, a source of wise counsel, and as an example of those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many young Marines you have influenced who will carry on in the same fine tradition that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, Robert B. Neller, General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear First Sergeant Hermance, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to extend my congratulations and heartfelt thanks for your many years of dedicated service and selfless devotion to our country and Corps. You have made tremendous contributions and sacrifices throughout your Marine Corps career. As you prepare to enter this new chapter in your life, you can look back with immense pride and satisfaction on all that you have accomplished. You have set an example of professionalism and leave a standard of excellence for all Marines who will carry on the legacy of our Corps. My wife Andrea joins me in wishing you continued success in the future. Semper Fidelis, Ronald L. Green, 18th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that First Sergeant Wayne C. Hermance, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Marine Corps Reserve on this first day of June, 2016. Robert Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, assuming their place next to First Sergeant Hermance is his wife Deborah, his daughter Melissa, his nephew Christopher, and niece Caitlin. United States Marine Corps Certificate of Commendation, Inspector Instructor, Communications Company, CLR 45, 4th MLG, takes pleasure in commending Miss Deborah K. Hermance for constant, faithful, and devoted service during your husband's Marine Corps career. Despite long hours, frequent separations, and the uncertainties that are a part of military life, your loyal support enabled him to devote his energy and attention to the Marines he led. You kept your home fires burning on those countless occasions when duty demanded that he be away. As a cornerstone of your family, you provided the strong foundation and solidarity needed to sustain the Hermance family during demanding and stressful times. Your steadfast support and understanding enabled your husband to make a strong and lasting contribution to the Marine Corps and the great nation we all serve. Your efforts and sacrifices like this contributed significantly to the accomplishment of the Marine Corps mission and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. On behalf of all Marines and a grateful nation, please accept my sincerest thanks for caring and compassionate role that you have played as a key member of the Marine Corps family. Matthew A. Anchor, Major, U.S. Marine Corps, Inspector Instructor, Communications Company. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, Communications Company, Combat Logistics Regiment 45, Captain Justin Nash.
Parade! Rest!
Wow, 1987. All right, a lot of you probably weren't born yet. That's when First Sergeant Hermance joined the Marine Corps. All right. From there, he went to Desert Storm. Came back, had some broken time, missed it, missed you guys, missed being around you, missed leading you, missed that camaraderie. Came back in. All right. Did some deployments, did some things, OIF, OEF. You can see it right there on his chest. All right. It's truly an amazing accomplishment. It's something that we should all, aspire to do if we choose that as our path to retirement. This is an outstanding Marine to emulate if you want to make it, 20 plus years and retire. I want to talk a couple minutes about First Sergeant's leadership. Something that I truly admire about him from my time with the company. Those of us that have been here a while, we kind of saw how it was. We got a new CO previous, who's a guest here, Major Benoit. He started to turn things around, and then that final piece, right, was when First Sergeant Hermance checked in, and the company, started hooking and jabbing at a level that, it hadn't in previous years. And that's, largely part of First Sergeant Hermance's leadership and example, right? I want to talk about taking care of Marines. I've met very few Marines, if not any other ones, who have the genuine concern for your well-being than First Sergeant Hermance. He truly cares about you. I don't think you know how much countless off time he has spent, doing the Marine Corps things on his own time to ensure you guys are taken care of. So I want to thank him for that. Can't say thanks enough, but again, thank you, First Sergeant Hermance. Thank you to your family for all the support. We really appreciate it. And thank you to the guests that have come out, that you've met throughout the years. So thank you. We appreciate it. And with that,
Ladies and gentlemen, today's retiree, First Sergeant Wayne Hermance.
Rob, thank you, sir, for those kind words. I'm going to address the company in a minute, but first I want to say some thank you, Captain Nash. I appreciate the last little less than a year when you took over. I guess it was fitting that I came in as an 03 and I got to leave with an 03 officer. I know you're a comm officer too, but you're an 03 officer always. So that was kind of fitting. I appreciate the conversations we had and something new with the company. I really appreciate it. Major Benoit, you were here when I checked in. I heard about the company, the way it was before you got there, and how much you turned the company around. It was easy for me to see that. Super knowledgeable guy. Cared about the Marines, and I stepped into a great situation. And appreciate the time that we had together in 2 years. Reserve staff has been great. I enjoyed working with you guys. You guys have been great with me and for me, and it's been a good team. And I appreciate that from each and every one of you. Major Anchor, I know you haven't been here very long, but your staff and the way that they treated us on the reserve side has been, exceptional. It starts from the top, comes on down. Sergeant Major Campbell, I'm not sure where you're sitting, but there you are in the back. I've been around, a long time on the reserve side, and I've had some good I&Is, some bad, some in between, but Sergeant Major Campbell, right from the beginning, we snapped in together, treated me as an equal. I learned a lot from you. That team was great, and the reserve only works as well as the I-9 and reserve work together, and I appreciate the way you did that, and with Gunny Eddins and the rest of your staff on down. And it's a testament to each and every one of you guys, and I appreciate that. Some of my guests that are here, Chief Warrant Officer Stabenow, appreciate you driving out here. We were in Charlotte together for a while. We deployed in 2005 together in civil affairs deployment, and you and Chief Officer Malott were kept in with the line of comic relief of the Chief Warrant Officer Corps, I guess, because that's the same way that our guys are here. But that's been great. But I appreciate you coming out. Sergeant Flynn, no offense to any other Marines that are here, but Sergeant Flynn, you're probably, I guess, Marines are that's supposed to be like your kids. You're not supposed to have favorites, but you're probably my most favorite Marine I've ever had to lead. We were in Charlotte for a long time together, deployed twice together, Iraq and Afghanistan. I really appreciate you taking the time to come out for this. I think that's everybody I need to thank. No, I need to thank the family on it. Christopher and Caitlin, you've only been with us for a few years, 3.5. You didn't have to withstand all the deployments. You just kind of came in just on my weekend. But you're part of the family. I'm glad you're part of the family. I love you guys both. And I'm happy that you're with us. Missy, my daughter, I don't know what I can say. I remember when I first decided to come back into the reserve, she was real little, and I guess just liked me being around so much. I don't know why, but when I first went on my first AT as a part of the reserve, and I remember calling home and she refused to talk to me because I had left her, I guess. And she even asked, after a few times of leaving, she asked my wife why she didn't have to leave. Why did I always have to leave? But you turned into an awesome young lady. You're in college, and your mom and I are really proud of you. And I just thank you for all the times that you had to see me leave and come back. My son couldn't be here today. He's, for those of you who don't know, he's a second lieutenant. Tomorrow he'll be promoted to first lieutenant. He's in Okinawa. He had to leave a couple months ago, and unfortunately he can't be here. But he'll watch the video, and I know he'll do great things, and we're really proud of him. So, to Debbie, my bride, you've been there from the start. This is probably the only part I'm going to choke up at. You've been there from the start, all the deployments, all the training, all the missed days and nights. You had to be mom and dad and all that stuff. I know I wouldn't, I don't say I wouldn't change a thing, but I couldn't have done it without you, and I truly appreciate and love you for everything. All right, the Marines. You know, anybody that says they don't do it for the pay and for the retirement is just lying to you. I mean, that's part of it, but you don't stay around as long as you do for a career without enjoying being around Marines. I thank each and every one of you for the ones that have been here the whole 3 years I've been here, the ones of you, just came around lately. But I appreciate you guys, and I'm thankful for all the hard work you put in for me. And I guess the last thanks would be to, I need to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing me with this day. So getting all the thank yous out of the way, I just want to take a few minutes of your time. Looking back, it's kind of crazy. I mean, once I hit my 10-year mark, it just really seemed to just fly by. It seems like yesterday. I know, I'm sure my wife wouldn't say that, but it just really seemed to fly by. And I'm standing up here, and I'm kind of, a little bit torn, I guess. There's part of me that, at 47, that gets up every day, and it takes 5 minutes to stand up straight. I have to ice my knees and my back every day after I PT, sometimes after work. That part of me is telling me, hey, it's time, you need to go. There's that other part of me that, it's really hard to want to give it up. And it's that part of me is screaming at me and saying, hey, run back to your office, close the door, pull out your NCO sword, and dare anybody to try to come and take your uniform off you. So, that's, I'm kind of bittersweet on this day, because leading up to today, that struggle of which side is really the side that I need to go to. And obviously retirement's been approved, so it's not like I can just pull it back. But driving in this weekend, I was thinking, maybe between these two sides, I would get some kind of sign this weekend saying, "Hey, you did the right thing." And actually, I got to my office this weekend, opened up my locker, and sure enough, I looked in there and I was all out of dry socks, so I knew it was time to go. but I was reflecting on, coming back in 1987. I was thinking about some of the changes that have gone on. Some stuff like uniforms have changed. We had 2 sets of alphas when I came in, a polyester set for the summer. I'm sure you remember that, Chief Marshal Tagman. And a wool set for the winter. We still have patent leather shoes and not core frames. You have to buy those on your own down the commodity. PT gear was different. We had red PT shorts with a yellow PT shirt. And obviously the camis were different back then, the utility uniform. We didn't have any name tapes back then, so you never were addressed by your real name. There was always some Marine Corps nickname like, Devil Dog or Hard Charger, Horse Marine, Crazy, and probably a few other names that I can't repeat the children knew. Equipment's changed. We've gone through from the Alice pack all the way up to probably 3 more packs since then. We use camelbacks now. Sleeping bags have changed. It's all changed. But it's gotten better. And because of the Marine Corps, I got to meet some awesome people, some great friends, some who I still keep in contact with after all these years. And we got to go some really great places I would not have thought to go to. Not Iraq and Afghanistan, but fun places that we got to do some really good training and some good liberty. Places like Hong Kong, Korea, Norway, which is an absolutely beautiful place. You ever get a chance to go there in the summer? I was blessed and will always remember the time that I got to participate with a sister unit to recreate the beach landing on Iwo Jima. I'll take that with me always. That was a special time. And probably the funnest place I've ever got to go to, probably the greatest liberty port the Marine Corps has ever went to, is the Philippines. Got to go there a few times. And I got to tell you that those of you who've never been there, the Philippines, they say Las Vegas is Sin City, but I think the Philippines makes Las Vegas seem like a kindergarten. Not that I would know. I stayed in the barracks and didn't see eyes. But really, I don't want to take too much of your time, but there's a couple things, I don't want to leave you with stories of uniforms and equipment and stuff like that. There's a couple things I want to pass along to you guys before I go. I guess being the first sergeant in me, I want to say a couple things. First one, I want to kind of address the NCOs. And those of you younger Marines, PFCs, and Lance Corporals that are going to be NCOs soon or one day. And I know you guys have heard a couple of terms. NCOs are backbone of the Marine Corps. And you've heard Captain Nash say all the time, small unit leadership. But you guys are the key to driving the Marine Corps training. And I hope that some of you guys are doing a fantastic job of that. But you guys are the ones that are around the Marines the most. And it's up to you guys to really, really make sure that the unit is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I was fortunate enough, when I got to my first unit in 9th Marines, my first squad leader, Corporal Walsh, he retired last year as a sergeant major. Gunny Higgins knows him. He was the first NCO, or first squad leader I had, and I thought back then, and I still think now, that he was the ideal NCO. What an NCO is supposed to be. He cared about his Marines, he taught his Marines, he gave us room to grow, pushed us beyond what we thought we could do. I always tried to emulate him, and if I've done half as well as he did, then I think I've done something. But I'm urging you guys that you need to have ownership of that. You need to drive that training and just be a Corporal Walsh for one of your junior men and show them the ropes and do what you're supposed to do. And You PFCs and Lance Corporals, if you're not getting that from your NCO, go find one. I mean, it's not hard to see who a go-getter is. And you're going to learn so much from them. You know, I learned something more from Corporal Walton about being just a Marine than anybody I've probably ever served with. So, you know, I'm urging you guys to be that guy or gal. And the last thing I really want to say, I was watching a movie the other night. You know, that's what Marines do. We always watch movies, we quote movies, that kind of thing. But to give you a little bit of backstory, when I was growing up, on Veterans Day, back in the day, we only got like 3 TV channels. On Memorial Day, the TV channels would all play military movie marathons. And I didn't do a whole lot with my dad growing up, but that's one of the things we did. We watched some of these movies. He was a Vietnam Marine. And one of those movies was his favorite. It became one of my favorites, and I used to watch it with my son. My wife absolutely hates the movie. But I was watching it the other night just for old time's sake. It's called The D.I., old 1950s movie. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that movie.
That's
a little bit before your time.
Yeah.
But the premise
Jack
of the movie
Webb,
is
all
this
the way.
recruit, Private Owens, is trying to get kicked out of the Marine Corps. He doesn't want to be there anymore. And at one part of the movie, he's standing in front of the company commander, and the company commander's chewing him out, and he kind of breaks down a little bit, and he asks him, he says, "What country is this?" to the captain. A little while later, at the climax of the movie, he has him in his office, he tells him he's not going to be discharged, but he answers his questions. He says, "This is your country. That's what country it is." And this is what last thing I want to say to you guys. This is your country. It's mine too. But, you know, after today, I'm never going to be asked to do anything in defense of her. I'm not going to do any training. I'm not going to deploy. You know, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. But if you look around the world today and see what's going on, you know, it doesn't take a genius to realize that it could be coming pretty soon for each and every one of you guys. So take that seriously. You know, I talked about, you know, uniforms change, equipment changes, but the one thing that never changes, Marines deploy. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. That's the only thing we're here for. So take your training seriously, be ready when that time comes, and when your country calls on you to deploy, be ready. But not only is this your country, this is your Marine Corps. It'll always be mine. I'll always be a part of it. But once again, after today, I'm never going to have any effect on it. I'm never going to be able to take a custom, a courtesy, a tradition that was passed to me and pass it on to somebody else. I've already done that. But it's up to each and every one of you to protect the institution that is the Marine Corps. It's important that we take these things that was given to us, whether we agree with them or not, and pass them on to those that are coming right behind us. You know, we like to say we're the greatest fighting force in the world, and I believe that we are. And our track record in combat shows that. But we're much more than that. We pride ourselves on our history and on these traditions and customs. And if we fail to pass them along, we start losing a little bit of what we are. And many years ago, Lieutenant General Victor Krulak was tasked by the commandant at the time to answer this question: why does America need the Marine Corps? So after some research and some thought, he came back to the commandant and he said, America doesn't need the Marine Corps, but it wants it. But if we start to fail to pass these traditions and customs on that we were given, if we fail to pass them on to those ones coming behind us, we're going to start losing that, and sooner or later we're going to become like everybody else. And once we become like everybody else, America is no longer going to want us. So I hope and pray that each and every one of you takes that seriously, do what you're supposed to do as a Marine, pass that stuff on, and we will continue to be the greatest fighting force in the world. And you don't let it slip it one step while you're here. Once again, I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, all the work you've given me. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to serve with each and every one of you. And if there's ever a time when you need something, I'm just a phone call away. I'm sure you all have my number, and I appreciate it. everybody else.
All right, so the company has a couple gifts we'd like to present to the first sergeant for his great service to the company and the Marine Corps. So we have a guide on. All right, and now we have one more thing. All right, this is a custom engraved 1911. Well prepared, so again, well deserved. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Wow, that's, you guys need to come take a look at this if you haven't seen it. That's, wow, I'm speechless. You know, I appreciate that. You know, whole company, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You know, I actually, when I first came in 1987, we got the fanfire of the 45, so we were right in the transition of the 9mm. So I guess that's kind of fitting, but that's amazing. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Flowers are now being presented to First Sergeant Hermance's wife, Deborah, and his daughter, Melissa, and niece, Caitlin. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the retiring of the colors and remain standing for the Marines hymn.
Company, attention! Retire the colors!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's retirement ceremony. Please be seated for the presentation of the flag of the United States.
Detail. Hold. About. Face.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutes of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher. My color is a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am respected, and I am revered. I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought every battle from every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the deserts of Africa, the cane fields of the Philippines, the rice paddies and jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Guadalcanal, New Britain, Peleliu, and many more islands, and a score of places long forgotten by all those but who were with me. I was there. I led my Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I've been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my country. And when it is done by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stand watch over new uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used for bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly at half-mast to honor my Marines, and when I lie on the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Dear God, long may I wave.
Forward, march.
Dear First Sergeant Wayne C. Hermance, this flag was flown aboard Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina, the 12th day of May, 2016. Thank you for your 21 years of selfless and faithful service to our country and Corps. Semper Fidelis, Terry V. Williams, Brigadier General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Eastern Recruiting Region, Parris Island, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's events. On behalf of the Commander, Communications Company, Combat Logistics Regiment 45, thank you for your attendance.